Alright, welcome back to D&D in Kavran. Picking up where we left off last time, while you continued through the ethereal planes, spotting something in the sky leaving with strange fiery arcs. The party discovered some more strange creatures as well, like small cows with armadillo-like armored flanks that curled into balls to roll away from danger. But this pleasant encounter took a turn when the source of the fire in the sky revealed itself to be a hunting phoenix that descended upon the herd of cattle. The party, ever the animal lovers, drew the phoenix's attention on themselves, fighting the flying, fiery fowl. They were victorious and struck down the foe, which, after a fiery explosion, was transformed into an egg. And despite the egg's scalding temperatures, the party wanted to keep it and placed it inside their bag of holding. This is where disaster struck. The magically burning egg damaged many of the contents inside the bag, eventually destroying the bag itself and casting the valuable components across the surrounding field, including the clay urn they had been keeping the mist form of Belladonna in. Through some quick reactions, Klari was able to use her mage hand to prevent a disastrous shattering of the urn, but it did take a small amount of damage. Faced with this troubling problem, the party decided to stop early for the night and make emergency repairs, setting watch over the urn, so Arwen was able to prepare the necessary spells to fix the damage. Stix and Klari built a padded carrying bag from leaves and moss, and while Piper was left with his new mental companion Balnoff, ponder the strange urn with a vampire within. The next day the party carried on until they entered a city, although finding the city was abandoned. Do you guys do this every time? Because
Doing it now.
normally I'm on an
It
entirely
makes me
different.
remember really well, actually.
Normally I'm on an entirely different tab, so I can't see you guys when I'm doing the recaps. But I flicked back across slightly earlier this time, and you guys are miming.
That's why we're doing like when you had like the blazing thing. Lava. It's the egg one.
Oh.
The thing roll.
I'm gonna have to keep a window open for this next time.
Oh, I was trying not to laugh really loud to distract.
ADHD kids in school. Anyway,
So the party
Abandoned.
found themselves inside this strangely abandoned city. A strange iridescent dust seems to cover every surface, and they found evidence of at least one slain mind flayer. As you continue to make your way through, you eventually come to a pentagonal-shaped courtyard.
You have to tell me how many sides that is.
5.
Okay, thank you.
Each corner of the courtyard has another roadway leading off. In the center of the courtyard, there seems to be a statue, possibly in an extinct fountain. The statue itself is roughly spherical in shape, with several sort of bulges or nodules coming off it, mostly eroded and lost to detail. You can see at one point of the statue there seems to be a large chunk broken out of it. You can also see around this courtyard there is a number of sort of stalls or stands made from stone. Seem to stand out at this point. And in the glinting light, you can see that there is a large bronze plaque adorning the statue, impossible to read from this distance. What would you like to do?
What is the statue of?
The statue seems to be a large, roughly spherical shape with several sort of nodules or lumps coming off it. Most of the features have been eroded down and are indistinct, although in one place there is a large chunk missing from it.
So the big spear.
Pac-Man-like-esque shape.
Oh, Like a big pack. Right. Has anyone seen a ghost?
I put Stix's head in the Pac-Man mouth.
Yes.
Hmm.
Have I eaten? Does it get a level up?
Pardon?
Well, because if Pac-Man eats the ghosts, he gets a.
Right. Yes, I am on the same page now.
I do those games.
I do those games. I am the game.
I play do games.
Do you know the names of
do
all the
play.
ghosts?
Red, blue, purple.
No, they actually have names.
Bob, Steve, Nigel.
1, 2, 3, 4.
No.
Thing 1, thing 2.
I'll give inspiration to anyone that can get it.
Ghost.
I'm getting a text message.
That's cheating.
Ghosty, ghouly, spooky. Who?
No.
Oh, you're supposed to get scared when I say that.
Oh, actually, those names are great. Do you want to say them or do you want to keep guessing?
I want to know.
So the red one is called Blinky.
Oh,
It's called Pinky.
love it.
The blue one is called Inky. And the orange one is called Clyde.
Yeah, it's Inky, Pinky, Blinky, and Clyde.
Yeah.
Why?
You'd have to ask the developers of Pac-Man.
Why?
Oh, hold it right. Well, my head is in it. Can I? There's just like this is just broken rock, and
Yeah, it's like this jagged opening at top and bottom. A couple of pieces are quite sharp, so you have to be a little bit careful, but it's quite a wide gap that you can stick your head in.
I do not think Arwen was careful.
What do you mean? I am very dainty, I'll have you know.
There are many words I would use to describe Arwen. Dainty is not one of them. Well, so it's a big sphere, a big jagged section taken out of it, and there's weird like lumps and bumps over it. Is it like a globe? Is it almost globular? Could I make any sort of distinction given any patterns on it, or the lumps and bumps could they be representative of mountains, hills, and the pieces taken out are possibly like damage?
Yeah,
Could that
make
be?
an intelligence check.
You make an intelligence check.
With
That's
my
right.
natural bonus of -1, that's a 4.
Oh dear.
A 13. Yeah, you look at this, you're not quite sure what it is, but you don't think the little sort of like stubby bits coming off it look more like stalks rather than sort of the natural alignment of mountains.
I mean, there is some writing here. Someone read it.
Yes. Oh yeah, we need to get closer to it to read it. So let's move.
I mean, you just stuck your head in it, so
Oh,
I
yeah.
think you're quite
Yeah, you
close.
just stuck your head in there. I'm assuming you guys are now in the middle of the courtyard.
Yes. Says, well, you can read. What does the writing say?
So,
I-
does anyone
don't know.
speak deep speech or undercommon?
I cannot read it.
Great. You are right, Joel.
I speak undercommon.
Oh, that's
But you
great.
can't.
I'm so glad you speak undercommon but can't read.
Finally.
Oh wait, hang on. I can do a thing.
Someone just sound out the letters and I'll tell you that you're butchering the language.
Can I use comprehend languages?
Yes. Comprehend languages. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I just need to
So you
touch it.
cast comprehend languages, and it reveals to you that the text on the plaque says, "Sanrix, the founder of Quelnulk City, a safe haven for the displaced of Holden Prime, fleeing Empress Jubileus and the tyranny of her starspawn."
And in English?
That was English.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Could you say it again?
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat for you so you can read it.
Something about a star spawn.
Sunric, founder of Walnut City, a safe haven for the displaced of Holden Prime, fleeing Empress Jubileus,
Jubileus.
Jubileus, and tyranny of her star spawn. That sounds like a whole bunch of shit. That I
Okay,
don't
so
want
that
to.
dude found that city because they used to be part of that city, but they're not anymore because of that empress and her ugly stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
Planet
thank
A
you.
made City B to get away from
No,
Place A.
you're doing maths again.
It's even
If a
worse.
train leaving
No, no.
leaves
I
a
don't know how
terminal
many
zone.
oranges Pippa has.
JJ, an important question.
Yes.
Do we know what a
No, nothing. No.
Greece looks like?
Pardon?
Were we ever told or described or shown an image of what a spectatrice looks like?
Well, if, as you should all remember, you have this lovely map
We have a pretty picture.
that has this delightful picture.
Does the
Love.
massive globe thing look a little bit like this picture?
It bears a passing resemblance, yeah, with your 13 that you got previously.
Guys, I've did what this is. This is a statue of the thing. And therefore, I am going to assume that the spectatrice is called Sunrix. He founded this city away from this strange star spawn stuff and the Empress Jubileus. No one's here because everyone else died.
I have a concern.
Yes.
Just because I know JJ can be evil, I'm very worried now that this could be like a really nice guy who's like really helped people, and it's just a really unfortunate circumstance that everyone died. And he's just going to be like really nice to us, and we're going to have to kill him.
Well, if he's super nice, we're not going to kill him.
Yeah, but then our whole world dies or whatever.
Oh, fuck.
It's just
Weird.
mission. And I haven't questioned why we're trying to find the spectatrice.
Oh, yes, you were aware. Yes, so we're trying to find the essence of the spectatrice is what we need to basically cut Balsam from his patron. So if we get the essence of the spectatrice, then we can
No,
remove.
I do. Yeah, no, I do remember that.
There we go. So
So we've just been going with it.
here's the thing, right? And here's where things sort of get a bit iffy. Why don't we try and find him and meet him? Because okay, here's my thing. He's taking places from other places and hoarding them from himself. That is inherently not very good.
Yes, that's true. Very true.
Unless he has a very good reason for doing this, which I don't think he probably does, unless it's like to save these places. But then I would probably say, as a man of the natural world, let nature take its course. But that what raises a whole load of other moral questions that I sort of fell asleep in. So why don't we meet the guy, see if he's evil? If he is, then we go and do the dragon idea. Because let's face it, those dragons are dying anyway.
Dragon.
Yes, I know dragon, but
Mm.
aren't they like
Yeah.
weren't they literally described as dragons going there to die? Why don't we just wait around long enough for one to die? Why didn't we do this in the first place? Why don't we just wait around long enough for one to die and then collect it? Like I could have done that myself. Just go there and wait around with the essence box. Need.
Because then we wouldn't have almost accidentally set a vampire, out in the world, and you wouldn't have found a friend in your head.
This is Stix talking. I don't have my hat on. Pepper's being quiet. Pepper's thinking, so what if he's a nice guy? We need a shit.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine then. Cool. Right, let's go see if we can find Sunrix.
Okay. So you are in this courtyard with this
Mhm.
statue in the center. There's a small sort of little like building like scattered around the perimeter of the courtyard. Almost like sort of single roomed buildings. One side of them seems to be sort of like open to the front. They look like almost like little stalls or something like that. Little like single room shops, potentially something like that. And there are 5 exits to this courtyard.
Which exit has the big tower?
So the tower. So you've come in basically from the bottom,
Mhm.
and so you've got 2 paths that point sort of left and right and back, and left and right and forwards. And directly ahead of you, through like a mass of buildings, are where like the 2 largest towers stand, and you can see this sort of like flickering energy beam that connects to the rooftops. There, so you need to pick a direction. Unfortunately, there's no pathway that seems to lead you directly to there.
So it's one of those 2, though, not one of these 2, because these would go the wrong way.
The first, yeah. So if you've come in on number 1, and then it goes 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 and 5
So
would
3
be
and 4.
generally leading you backwards, and then sort of 3 or 4 would lead you roughly forwards.
I say 3 or 4 then.
I say 4, because there is 4 of us.
There's 5 of us.
Fucking idiot. I I'd say we go where Klari said, if she's smart enough.
That's me.
Plan.
3 or 4.
What's this not? What if I say 1 and something really bad happens?
Then we all go, Levry.
And we deal with it. We blame you. We deal with it. 3. We're going 3.
Okay, number 3.
3 feels like you're right, because.
You guys carry on. As you do so, with this little bit of investigation and little pause that you've made, you continue to move through the city. Certainly, Stix would have got a little bit more dust falling on him, sticking his head in the statue and sort of clambering over the little dried out fountain wall. So, can everyone make another Constitution saving throw, please?
Oh, yes, I forgot about that thing.
Everyone gets +5.
17. Oh,
Constitution saving throws. Full from character. So Stix got a 14 and Piper got a 13. That was awful.
Okay.
Awful saves all around, guys.
Okay.
Very.
As you exit the courtyard, taking the pathway slightly to the left, Hugo, Stix, and Piper, you all just hear.
We hear what? Sorry.
You just hear an echoing laugh. Just echo off the
No.
walls around you.
You know when Scooby Doo jumps into Shaggy's arms and he's just a bit too big?
Yes.
It is me and Hugo. Because I don't know what's happening.
No, indeed.
That's Piper and Stix.
What is happening?
Sweet.
Stix throws Piper to the ground and says, "Come on, guys!" While he pulls out a sword and sort of tries to get everyone in a circle looking around. Because there's no direction to this laugh, right? It was just.
It was, yeah, sourceless, directionless, echoing off the walls.
Yes, we all stand in a circle. Stix calls out, "Who goes there?"
Wait, hang on.
Me and Klari are just like,
Just
what's
silence.
happening?
Can I use what's it called?
Thaumaturgy.
Thaumaturgy to laugh back in the same manner.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really hard. That is. I love the thought that even though Clary's using thaumaturgy, it's still really quiet because it's Clary.
So, yeah,
or it's like
somehow even managed to,
Clary's life, and even she's scared of it.
despite amplifying her voice, Clary somehow manages to get her voice to echo less than this laughing voice did. The stealthiness dampening the sound. You carry on. And so your left pathway, you can see. Yes.
Grand Piper used one of his new abilities that he's totally going to blag as an ability he's had the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait. Oh. Two things. Oh, fuck. Need the fucking keyboard up to fuck with the goddamn keyboard. Where's the settings? I was gonna say, can Piper? I just want to look up real quick which one lasts longer, see invisibility or true sight? True seeing. Is true seeing last 1 hour, 8 hours?
Oh,
True
difference.
see. So true seeing, I can basically see plus everything. Okay, true seeing lasts 1 hour, but see. Oh, trying to use the mouse on my left hand. The invisibility
Is also 1 hour.
Oh, fuck. I was hoping one of these.
True seeing, like when you get cheats on video games and you can see through walls.
Not quite.
Just see a silly man running around.
Yeah, and I can see through illusions. I can see all that stuff. Can Piper use see invisibility?
Yes, he can.
Does he see anything?
He does not.
Son of.
Have a weird question. If you use The not seeing the other one. True
seeing.
sight or
Yeah.
can you see what Piper looks like normally?
Yes.
Oh. Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
I thought he'd physically change it.
Hmm. But it's
I would
yeah.
have changeling that it
But
was a physical.
would you say true seeing would allow you to see through polymorph as a spell?
Because you physically change. It's not an illusion.
But you can see the
I
true
mean, it's-
nature of a thing.
Yeah. It is also like a 7th level spell or something, true seeing, so.
Yeah. Anyway, seeing as Piper is the one that has it, then it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
So
it was the
yeah. So you carry on down this pathway, and the streets begin to close in. You're now no longer on one of these, on the sort of main thoroughfare that enters the city, and it gets a little bit tighter. But you keep going for a little bit, pushing through this dust and things like that. You see various sort of abandoned buildings, doors left open, windows broken. You walk past a cart that's parked up at the side of the road, and there is a pile of bones sort of still between the shafts, as if it was some beast of burden used to pull this thing and was abandoned here. The bones are unusual, and with your natural acumen, you immediately spot that they are not the bones of a horse.
Bones of a horse.
Something other than a horse used to pull this cart, you can see.
well, I don't have Ray's dead, so we can't have a new cart.
Oh, but I've got Elvis. Ow.
New cart! Whoop, 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 whoop.
If you
Best day
wish,
ever.
if you wish to, you can attempt to get the cart moving again.
I worry how stealthy it'd be. Well, it's fine.
Yeah, examining it closely, you can see probably part of the reason this cart has survived for so long is, unlike a lot of carts that you're used to that are made out of wood, this one is made entirely out of metal.
What?
Yeah, sort of a dull, sort of dark greyish metal, plainly adorned. You can see there are some remnants of what might have been some nice plush seating, sort of in benches, down two sides, or down the sides of the cart. Might have had nice seating, and there is, although the seats themselves are interestingly shaped, they are all scooped out. So rather than being flat, they are all scooped out into sort of be little dish or bowl shaped seats, which looks a little odd. Including a singular seat up front that is in the same shape of a sort of scooped dish, shallow dish-shaped bowl.
Oh, I bet they're for decreases just sitting for the little ball.
Patrice is quite small then. I was
Maybe.
imagining some massive hunk of a thing.
I'm assuming like little ones are. Or it's just like a baby wagon.
Oh,
Like
babies! Oh my god, maybe
like
it was like to steal children.
when parents get one of them like 7-seater vans with like kids seats in the back.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely what I was thinking of. Not child fair.
I mean, if
Anyway.
you would like to, you could deploy Elvis to harness him up and try and pull this. Use some of your ropes and things like that to create some tack.
Oh, when you were like, if you'd like to, I thought you were talking about stealing children. I mean, if you want.
If that's the way you want to go, just start off the main story and just become a child snatcher.
Steal kids. Just steal kids.
Whatever Arwen wants to do.
No, shoes is fine.
Why don't we? Why do we do that? Oh, can you like? I don't know. Can you like summon a horse or something to like help? Because I feel like Elvis alone won't be able to pull all 5 of us.
How many horses do you want?
I don't know how many can you make?
I think um
Five?
not put horse in here. Idiot. Horse idiot. Right.
Awesome.
5, 8, horse. Just give him no, not house, horse. Huh? Oh, how do you spell horse?
HORSE.
Da-da-da-da. 8. I make 8 horses.
You make 8 horses. All right.
I have 8 horses now.
All of a sudden, 8 horses appear.
Ta-da.
Yeah, so you summon 8 horses, moving the bones out of the way so you can get a couple of horses in between. You see that this cart was quite wide. It's a little bit snug for 2 horses, but whatever creature used to pull these was clearly quite a broad thing. But you shift the bones relatively quickly, sort of sending them clattering to the side of the street. Yes.
Bones, were they more feline or
Make a nature check, maybe not.
oh, does it have to be nature? Can it be like animal handling or something?
Nope, it's definitely nature in
I'm
this instance.
handling animal bones.
Oh.
14.
14. So based on sort of like the structure of this, it seems more sort of bovine, so quite low and big and broad. Until you get to the head, where it's got this enormous head with a massive mouth full of many jagged teeth.
Angry cow. Okay.
Big angry cow.
Yeah. You harness up a couple of horses with, a few spare alongside, using your various ropes and things like that you carry on your packs. Give them a cue to get them pulling, and there is this terrible, like grinding, screeching noise as these metal wheels and these metal axles that haven't moved for years just. But after the initial ear-piercing screeching noise, they do get underway slowly. There seems to be sort of like a sticking point where every rotation it's just. But the wagon does move.
So how well would pass without trace work? Perfectly? Flawlessly?
It would
Amazingly?
certainly help.
I don't think there's any helping this.
And as the wagon begins to move, Stix, Hugo, and Piper, you all hear a voice. That dragon hasn't moved in a long time.
Oh, didn't like that laugh.
And both Hugo and Stix, for a brief moment, your vision blurs slightly, and the horses have transformed themselves into these huge, like, fleshy, sort of like hunched over, like bovine-like creatures with massive spiked jaws, and then you sort of blink and the vision resolves itself back to normal, and the horses are horses once more. Piper, you hear the voice, but you don't see any change.
Even though I have seen ability, not true seeing.
Ah, sorry, yes. No, you have seen visibility. You do see the change.
Yes.
My mistake.
Go activate.
Oh,
Or fight. In case you have an illusion shit. Okay. Fucking creepy. What?
can Hugo send that image to me?
Yeah.
Just every time he sees something that isn't right, I just want him to send it to me so that I
Yeah.
know what the hell's going on.
Yeah. He shares that with you, so you get a brief glimpse of what he saw.
It's harrowing. Never show me that again. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, I think Stix will just call out again and say like, who are you? Shut the fuck up.
Why you ask where? Where? Person is.
also where I
You will find out in time.
Piper can't see any invisible.
The voice is sourceless. It's not doesn't have like a direction. It just seems to be emanating from all around you.
Is there a big clock somewhere
A big clock.
on one of the like towers? Is there a big clock?
Not from this position. You don't see a big clock.
Oh, okay.
But
Thought you were being clever.
your wagon continues to trundle down the streets, making nice clattering noises as it goes. But as you trundle past empty building after empty building towards the tower, rapidly approaching now, the clip-clop of the other horses trailing alongside or behind, you don't see any signs of life within the city. Eventually, you start to come across towards one of these towers. You can see it is one of the ones sort of on the outskirts around the two central ones that has been partially destroyed. You can see similar to the two towers that you saw that had these large contraptions of concentric bronze rings on the top with a large sort of crystal or gem in between them. The one you approach, you can see the tower has fallen in, seeming crumbling over time. And lying on the ground amongst a pile of rubble is this exceptionally tarnished and eroded set of rings, the crystal dull and dark. Much of the tower
Rings as in
lies like it's like a structure of concentric bronze rings, with like a little holder like in the middle for this large crystal that you can see it's probably maybe the size of sort of like a pumpkin or something like that. But yeah, there is
can fit
rubble
in my bag of
strewn
holding.
everywhere from yeah. So you begin to approach Arwen, and as you do so, everything seems to slow down around you.
Do I slow down?
No, you seem to be moving through the others. You watch as Arwen seems to be moving quickly. Everyone else sort
Got a
of lingering in
speed.
the back. Arwen, if you look round, seems to be moving more slowly.
Hurry up, you silly billies.
That's weird. That's definitely weird. Stop moving so
Huh.
quick.
Okay. Meow.
Like, what does anything happen if I if I place my hand on her shoulder?
So as you
Right.
walk towards her and catch up, you seem to almost cross like an invisible point, and Arwen starts moving at normal speed. She's still sort of a few feet ahead of you, but she starts moving at normal speed.
Why is everyone so slow?
So once I touch her, she's normal speed.
Yeah, you haven't even quite caught up with her yet. You know, she's walked towards this thing. At some point, she's just sped up rapidly, moving much quicker, and then you get a little bit towards her, and then all of a sudden, you look at her, and she's moving normally again.
And if I turn back, is now suddenly everybody?
Everyone is suddenly moving much more slowly behind you.
We're in the ring of fast people.
Yeah, I'll. I mean, we're still in the car, right? So surely we're all.
There's
Insane.
like this tower has most like the top section of this tower has collapsed, so there's like rubble strewn everywhere. So the cart's a little ways back, and to sort of like get through it, Arwen has gone towards this thing of rings to try and claim this crystal.
Yes, yes. Okay, so as Stix, I'll stay with Arwen, and yeah, I guess the closer we're getting to this crystal, the faster we're going. It would seem.
It seems normal to you guys. Like you from your perspective, you don't feel an increase in anything like that. You feel normal. It's that
Or rather,
outside reference that seems to be moving much more slowly.
yeah, or like to our thing, like the closer we're getting to this thing, the slower everything around us is becoming. I guess, like we would see it as.
Mm.
Um,
Well, I'm just going to keep going towards the middle.
yeah, and I'll just follow Arwen.
Okay. Yeah, the two of you can rapidly make it towards, climbing over little bits of a few of these piles of rubble and things like that. You eventually make it to this very eroded and corroded set of rings.
I want to touch them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you reach out and touch them, and like bits of like rust and stuff just flake off at your touch. A small section falls away. It looks like it's been here for an incredibly long time. This bit.
Are they like floating, or are they actually like being held up with
No,
metal?
it is a physical structure being held up by links and things like that. Although some bits have fallen away. Indeed, as in the few moments you're there watching it, another small piece of sort of like crumbles and sort of like floats to the ground.
I will touch the crystal.
Oh, wait. Do we want to go grab Klari and get her mage hand to touch it?
Great plan. Even better than my grubby mitt.
You come and touch this with your
Poke.
with the mage.
As Stix calls out to you, Klari, he shouts, "Klari, can you come help?" All you hear is, "Klari, can you come help?" And it's whatever he says is almost lost. It's so fast, the speed that he's speaking at.
Klari, please help us.
Arwen, as you try and send that message, Klari, you hear in your head, Klari, please help us. And it's so fast, it's almost unintelligible.
Leave. Yeah, how far away would you sort of say it is in like D&D, like feet? How far
The
away
distance
are we?
between you guys is probably not too much more than maybe 30 feet, something like that, where this thing is like fallen, the top of the tower has fallen and spilled into this surrounding
Yeah.
area where you guys are like clambering over these bits of rubble.
I mean, we might as well just back over.
Yeah. Yeah. Upon Rayla, she's not coming.
Yeah,
walk
you
back
guys
up.
walk out and very quickly you make your way out. You get past a certain point and suddenly everyone starts to move sort of normally again, where Hugo's like sort of sniffing around and things like that. Those of you watching from the outside who weren't under whatever this effect was, see Arwen very rapidly move in, Stix move normally, and then very rapidly catch up, and then the two of them pause for a bit and rapidly come back towards you. The speed at which they move is almost blurring them.
What does Piper want?
Okay. Oh, what the fuck happened to you two?
Nothing. What happened to you?
You left.
Well, I was dropped on my head as a child. What about you?
Well, I'm going to need a lot more time than we have allocated these things.
I've forgotten the question.
I too have forgotten the question. Anyway, what's over there? Klari, we need your hand to grab a thing.
You guys were all like speedy and then not so speedy and then pretty speedy and then not moving. And then once you
We're fast.
off,
Well, that's very strange because you got very, very slow. You looked all slow.
So slow.
But I guess Stix, who's now been on the outside of all of this, would probably start to realize, oh, okay, the closer you get to it. And he'll explain that. Oh, yeah, when I was like watching Arwen go there, and she suddenly seemed pretty quick, but then when I went over there, you guys seemed really slow. So I guess it's something of like time moves differently the closer you get to it. So why don't we grab it? But also, I'm just thinking, right? Could this also be really bad? Because what if we stand here for like 10 seconds, or like an hour goes by elsewhere? What if we stand here for like an hour and a day goes by for everyone else?
Sucks to be them.
Oh yeah, no, it'd be the other way around. Oh, that could be great then. We could walk around and do that, do all of our adventures in like a day.
If we were to take it, would that not like if it's sort of like an aura around the Christmas, then we're constantly going to be going further than everyone else.
That'd be great. Then we are. We could do all of our adventures and do all the adventuring in such a super speedy time. We don't even know if that's what happens here because it's inside these weird brass rings. So why don't you come and see if you can grab the crystal and pull it out of the brass ring? And then we'll decide what we're going to do with it.
Why don't we find out what happens if Klari pulls out with a mage hand after an extended break? Because I know you guys have to go and pick something up real quick.
Thank you very much. We're just going to bring that up. Right. So. Yes, we will see you in 15 to 20 minutes. then with full cupboards of food, unlike right now.
Wow. What a treat.
Oh, yes. Apologies about that.
That's all right.
But-
Diving right back on in.
Indeed.
Oh,
Now that shopping has been
winning.
acquired and our players won't starve to death.
that's always good.
Yes. So you guys are gathered around the rubble. This tower, I realize I haven't described it in the best detail. This tower probably has 2 or 3 sort of stories remaining. But the top sort of couple of sections, actually this one's probably slightly smaller. This tower probably only has like 2.5 stories remaining at most. And yeah, the top sort of 3 or 4 are rubble around you. Not as much rubble as you might have expected. Potentially, it seems quite, more of it seems to be sort of ground down to dust through whatever caused this erosion. But you are in the process of Klari summoning her mage hand to try and grab this large, sort of pumpkin-sized crystal.
Indeed.
From what distance are you attempting to do this? You're about sort of probably 40 feet away, leaves you outside the influence of whatever is around this tower.
Can I do it from 40 feet?
You can certainly conjure your mage hand and send it forwards if you want.
Yes, please.
Okay. Yeah, so you conjure your mage hand and you send it in. After it goes forward for a few seconds, it suddenly rapidly speeds up and then just disappears. And you realize that the time has you get the same feeling when a spell dissipates. Its duration is over.
Jesus.
But for you guys, only a few seconds passed.
That
Oh,
plus.
fuck.
You want to try it from inside the.
Yeah, try it from a bit closer, maybe.
Yeah. Cantrip, isn't it? It's not spell.
Yeah, so you can just do it whenever.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, if that's what you want to do, you step forwards and sort of checking over your shoulder, you can see your companions
That's
have.
a very good question. Why do we want this crystal?
Because
Funsies.
if the spell speeds, that means we're probably aging faster stood inside of it.
Did not think of that.
And if we're carrying it around with us, all of our spells are going to end really quickly. We're not going to be able to fight anything.
That's a good point. JJ's just hanging a fucking big crystal in front of our faces.
We're just going to die faster.
What do you think, Owen? I think it's
Arwen thinks shiny. But at the same time, I don't want to die. Klari has made a good point.
I think Clary's made a good point. I think Clary has solved this whole bloody shenanigans.
Klari just doesn't want us lugging around more shit, and she's like, okay, I've got a great idea.
Yeah, here's the thing. If we could have put this in the bag of holding, that would have worked. Because that's an extra dimensional space where it wouldn't have affected anything. But now that we don't fucking have one, I'm so pissed.
It's fine. We'll get another one.
Oh.
Very sad about my party bag.
Teleport back and then get one and then just come back here.
When that man talks to you again, can you ask if he's got a bag of holding we can use?
When who talked to what?
You know, the big weird man that keeps talking to you in your head? Like the No, the spectre trees.
Oh, right.
Because he's not talking to me and Klari.
I see.
When he talks to you, can you just ask if he's got a spare bag that we can borrow?
Absolutely. and no stick.
Okay.
How the spell works. Right. I wonder.
Do you want?
Wonder. What would possibly happen for a chunk if one were to try and dispel the magic? Or if I don't fucking know. No, I think this is a bad idea. Why don't we head out of here?
Mm-hmm.
Because I agree with what Klari said. This is just a big crap. I don't like the thought of dying.
Yeah, what if a net comes down on us if we touch it? Oh, didn't even think of that.
What if time unravels if we touch it and then we'll die?
Nah, that's fine. It would be worse if I was stuck in a net.
Now I kind of want to touch it though to see what happens.
Go on then. Do it. I dare you. I double dare you.
I really, really want to touch it.
Double dare you.
I really want to touch it. Oh, I don't have a spell or anything that can make a duplicate of me.
You have these things. They're called hands.
Yes, but I don't want to touch it like with myself. Oh, yes, I do. Piper runs up really quickly.
Of course.
And he thinks in his head, he thinks, please protect me. Like, if there's anything. Oh, wait. I gained a couple of things. Life. I like how truth seeing, spending a spell slot with open opponents. Well, the same magic levitate disguise something on the average bad country. You can also solve one for day without a fun. Okay, so Piper will, just run up to it and touch it.
Okay. You casting any spells before you go in?
Feel like I probably should. I think Stix will cast Bless upon him.
Okay.
No, he won't, because Stix does not have Bless prepared. Because Klari got Bless. Stix will not do that. And Piper. Fuck all, Piper can cast himself.
Okay. And what did you say Piper was? What did Piper say before he went in?
He just said, well, he thought in his head, don't judge me, and if you can protect me, please do so. And Piper said, fuck it.
Yeah. As Piper rushes in, the voice replies, well, I'm afraid this is out of my hands, and I am judging you quite harshly for your actions.
I like this guy.
Not liking the sass on Bailado.
Well, I appreciate that if you weren't inclined to go after strange and unusual things, we might not be in this situation where you're hovering in the first place. So carry on.
Yeah, that's enough.
Yeah. So does Piper try and pick it up, or does he just poke it?
He just tries to poke it in the quickest way possible, just
Okay.
Okay.
You just
Like
run
a
up and
cat.
you slap
Yeah.
it with you make a slapping motion and just whap it with the tips
Yeah.
of your fingers. It
That's
hurts a little bit. It's quite hard, but nothing else happens. The rest of you watching outside, you watch Piper suddenly very rapidly sprint in, get to the thing, there's a blur of motion as his hand swing through the air, and then, well, for you, Piper, nothing happens. You're just stood there.
You want to see me touch the rock? You want to see me do it again? Okay. My hand isn't super old or aged, is it?
No,
Like my
doesn't look any different.
fingers aged as skeletons.
No, doesn't look any different. Doesn't feel any different.
If I was to change my form into that, so I'm currently like a normal average elf.
Mm-hmm.
If I change myself into a normal average tiefling, would there be any noticeable difference in my hand?
No. I don't see any differences as you transform.
Fantastic. Guys, this thing is useless. Let us make like trees and leaf.
Guys,
Walk back.
I don't hear what he says because it's all garbled nonsense. I have this feeling he made a really bad pun, so I will give him this look.
yeah. You make your way out, Piper. Feeling different. Piper emerges. You see him sort of rush forwards and rush back again from the perspective of everyone that's on the outside. He looks the same.
Except he's a tiefling.
Yes, except he's turned himself into a tiefling.
Yes, but that is fine. He will turn himself back into his normal elven man form.
I sometimes forget that you can change your face. You should change into that guy that we saw that tried to make us do a deal with him. Oh my god, that'd be so funny.
What? You mean this guy? And I transform into Balin.
Yeah.
Or at least like I can make myself look like him. I can't actually no, because now with his thing I can cast disguise self at will. Therefore I can make my entire being look like him, clothes and all. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Even down to the point where it looks like you have wings.
Indeed. Sort of like months. Then Stix is like
Disgusting. I'm so glad he didn't come with us. He would be so ugly on our team. Very beautiful people.
a point in the anime where it does a brief like montage of just all of us going, ooh, ah, Stix undoes himself and thinks to himself, you may not be everyone's cup of tea, but I'm sure some people find you attractive. And then Stix
You hitting on the guy in your head.
on. No, I'm making him feel better after you just really badly insulted him.
It's just a quiet silence, Piper, which is a little bit unusual. As normally he's quite quippy in your head about things.
Plotting my demise.
Self-conscious about his looks. It's kind of cute.
You get the sense that there's more sort of seething anger there.
Funny.
I've just realised. I've just remembered. I've got the deck of illusions, and I just opened it up. Kind of forgetting what it was, and just looking at it and be like, oh, this thing. I like 34 fucking cards of shit I can just pull out of a bag. They're illusion, technically, but still massive fucking list of stuff. I can pull out like an illusion of a frost giant. Like, aha, fuck you. There's one.
That's not the deck that's got like bad cards in it, is it?
No, this is just a deck of cards that when I like a Yu-Gi-Oh card that I throw down, it makes an illusion.
What's the cards that like they could be extremely good or they could be extremely horribly bad?
The deck of
anything.
Did someone have that at some point?
No.
Did someone play with that at some point?
No. JJ's got a smile as if to say, yes, you haven't yet.
I say nothing. But what does happen is Stix, Piper, and Hugo. Once again, the scene in front of you changes, and the rubble around you vanishes, and the courtyard is filled with floating spectral forms. People sort of hustling and bustling about. These forms are devoid of shape. They're more just sort of almost like floating gas balls, just giving semblance to life to things that are moving about. And they sort of move about, they mill in groups, and this vision, rather than lasting a few seconds, seems to last a minute or so. Just groups sort of moving around freely in this courtyard. Some disappear into the building, some come out. If you look up, you can see the top of the building has been reconstructed. And then after a minute or so, the whole scene fades again.
I have to say, I'm not. This is very, very strange.
I don't understand.
Let's get a move on, shall we?
Yeah. I want to go up one of the big towers
Okay.
with the bridge between them.
Okay. Are you getting back in your recently acquired wagon, or are you carrying on foot?
Well, we've got fucking 8 horses now. We might as well use them.
Yeah, please do.
Okay. So
Use the
carry-
third level spot.
They're on Prancer, on Vixen.
clanging and banging. Once again, this courtyard has multiple pathways off it. 2 of them you can see lead you vaguely in the right direction. Which one are you going to take, left or right?
Yeah.
There we go. Didn't even need Klari for this one.
Left again. Okay.
Now, if wrong way, it's not Clary's fault.
Yeah, it's no longer your fault. Congratulations. Well, because it originated with you, it still might be your fault.
Yeah.
You'll be an accomplice.
Still a quarter of your.
That's all. We'll just blame Piper for teleporting us in.
Yeah, that's fine by me.
Yeah, cool.
You carry on, and once again continue on through another section of the city. It seems whichever direction you've chosen to go in, you sort of find yourselves moving past. The 2 large towers seem to sort of move past, and you end up moving sort of over towards the further side of the city, towards the tower beyond them. This one is again has been destroyed in some way. As you begin to approach, and you can see the remnants of it in the distance, you can see chunks of masonry, big chunks, sort of the size of melons or pumpkins, or whole sections of mortared brick have been cast about. You see a few of them lying in the street, and you can tell they're from the tower because these towers are made from a very slightly different stone. And you find yourself sort of walking, and you can see buildings and things nearby have holes punched into them. And as you get closer and closer, the rubble becomes more numerous, and the holes punched in buildings and things like that become more frequent, as if a large quantity of stone was cast about in a wide area. But you approach this tower, some of it is still left standing, despite the top of it being seemingly scattered around the city. And you once again enter this large open courtyard with some more pathways leading on. And the tower itself stands before you.
You think we need to go up this thing? Is there?
Yeah,
Why?
because there's a bridge. Is this the one with the bridge?
No, you kind of, as you've been walking, you've seen the ones with the beams of light connecting them that sort of flicker in and out on sort of a random pattern. has sort of like moved past you, and you've carried on past them to another of these external towers.
Oh no. No, we want to go to those ones.
Yeah, there are more pathways leading off again. Again, you can see there's like a left and a right pathway that would take you both vaguely in the right direction. If you don't want to stay and explore this tower, you can take one of those paths, the left or the right one.
I'll take as
Your
vague.
seeing visibility certainly would have worn off at this point with the time you spent in the sped up time zone.
Well, that's really, really fun because I can't cast it again. Yeah, let's take the right path
Okay.
towards the towers with the bridge.
Okay. Yeah, leaving this tower. The voice in your head that you have heard again, Stix, Piper, and Hugo sort of chuckles, but you can tell this is more of a insidious chuckle. The other ones seem to have some level of enjoyment. Well, not what I thought, not as inquisitive. I suppose you have better things to be doing with your time.
No.
Yes, we do. So if you could just enlighten us as to what's inside that tower, that would be great. Then we wouldn't have to go through all this confusion.
Oh, I think that would be a waste of my time.
He replied.
Do you ask him about the bag?
Oh, yes. Whoever you are, do you have a bag of holding?
Let's see if you have time for this. And Hugo, Piper, and Stix, you see some of the dust that covers these streets begins to glimmer and shimmer, and rising seemingly out of the dust on the ground is a large white skull. The skull has pointed and jagged teeth, one glowing red eye, and floating around its head are a number of red pinpricks of light.
Piper immediately flicks out a ray of frost. Does it connect with the thing, or is it just another illusion?
Piper throws a ray of frost. Roll an attack roll. Arwen and Klari, you just see Piper suddenly throw a ray of frost through the air.
This man on drugs.
Yes, but we don't talk about that. No, it's locked me out and logged the hell in again. That's
He's taken some drugs from the Thaymore.
you fucking know he has. Alright, now launch game as me. Did it? No, wrong game. I launched the wrong game. Did it roll the hit?
It has not rolled for me.
No, not on mine.
Oh shit, I did click it. But I guess it's because I'm not in.
That's right.
No, I'm gonna do that. What is that? 9 plus 10. 19.
19. Yeah, 19 does hit. You throw this thing, and this ray of frost flies through the air and seems to impact the side of this thing. You see it like shatter across the bones. The mouth just sort of like closes up, and you just get this hissing sound. Oh, and Klari, for you see Piper like cast this ray of frost, and it just flies across and hits the wall on the other side of the courtyard.
Wait, so for me it hit, but for
Yeah.
them it just.
Yeah, and Stix,
Oh.
you see the same thing. You see this ray of frost hit the side of this creature.
Stix, what the hell are you doing? No, Piper, what the hell are you doing?
Roll damage as well.
Let's just roll the damage.
Why throwing frost at a wall?
11 damage.
11 cold damage. Nice. Okay.
No.
In which case, I would like us to very quickly roll some initiative.
Oh.
What about me and Klari? Do we have to
Yeah.
roll initiative?
I'd like you guys to roll as well, just so we have an order of people doing things, if you guys are doing things.
I would like to judgmentally stare at Piper for my action.
Okay.
Yep, I definitely that's my first thing I want to do.
All right, let me just get up. That's some position. Fucking Stix. Stop being a bitch. My roll very good. Sorry, my pages are being problematic. My fact sheets.
That is.
Who did you roll first, there, Ben? You've got a 20 and a 21.
So, finally, all that stuff's gone through. So, the first one, 21, is Piper. The second one, 8, is Stix. The third one was because things weren't working for me and it didn't show up.
Okay.
So don't worry about the third one.
And then just Klari then.
Initiative.
Okay, so Arwen, you're up first.
I would like to look at Piper with judgment.
Okay.
Go, what the fuck? What did the wall do to you?
And I replied, "You don't stop." Piper freaked the fuck out.
No. Arwen sits on the floor.
Okay. Piper.
Just gonna watch this one play out.
You are next.
Who's our next Piper?
Piper.
Fuck. Okay. 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 I'm going to. Do I try the smart thing or do I try the dumb thing? Oh, wait a fucking minute. I might have an idea. Can you cast it on other people or only yourself? Willing creature you touch. Fucking A. Okay. I want level this. Sing it. Oh, you can't like give it to anyone else. Shit. Okay, so a question. I've got True Seeing. I'm allowed to cast it once per day for free.
Yeah.
Can I give this Can I then cast it using my own spell slot, or no? It's just
Yes.
yes. Fantastic. Then I'm going to run up to Arwen.
Although it has, I believe Trucing has some components that you will need.
Well, for fucking
You get one for
Keep on
free, and if you have those components, you can.
oh, right. So I get free. No,
So you get one for
fuck, man.
free.
I don't have any appointments. Eyes. How am I gonna? No. Okay, but here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to cast a a minor illusion.
Okay.
Or actually, this might be a bit more fun. I'm going to pull out my deck of illusions. I'm going to throw one of the cards beneath this creature.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, there's a massive thing with the skull where this creature is, or where this card is. Fucking shoot it.
Okay. All right. The deck of illusions. So roll 2d20 for me. We'll see what the result is.
2d20. 28.
28. Okay. What is number 28? Does it has a list of the cards there?
It does. So number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 20. Oh, I read the bit and thought it was Beholder, but no, it's a Berserker.
Yeah, Berserker.
Jack of Clubs, Berserker.
So the rest. So yeah, Piper, you pull this card from the deck, you toss it out below this creature, and this like muscular, sort of like fur-clad individual with a huge great axe comes out, and it's like, and he's just standing on the spot screaming.
Just that, but maybe slightly above it. And I'm going to give Arwen. No, I'm not. I'm going to save my bardic inspiration for the minute.
Okay.
So
In
that's
which
my turn.
case, can everyone roll a d10? Not every character, just every player.
Six.
9.
9.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Okay. 6. I wasn't sure. 3. Okay. So, we'll start with Piper. Can you make a strength saving throw for me? As one of these beads of light starts to glow brighter and a streak of energy strikes towards you.
What saving throw? Sorry, wisdom.
Strength, please.
Right. Oh, that's it. Actually, no, that's exactly the same. So, strength. Do I happen to get Stix as bonus?
Yeah.
That's a 16.
You are restrained. You find yourself being pushed like 30 feet across, away from the group, and you suddenly can't move. You can still sort of like turn your head and think, and you can like wiggle a bit. You're not paralyzed, but you're just like fighting against invisible restraints. Excellent. Stix, can you make a dexterity saving throw, please?
Oh, gladly. Boykasha.
Alright. Let's just do that first. Let's see. Mm. 35.
Isn't sounding good. He's doing big numbers.
No, sorry, there is no half damage. You. Yeah, there is no half damage. You just completely dodge this as this ray strikes down towards you and different orb glows. And can Hugo make a wisdom saving throw for me, please?
It's 2 disintegration.
16.
Plus Stix's bonus, he passes. A momentary wave of fears comes over Hugo, but he throws it off and can act normally on his turn. Klari,
It's just
what are you up to? You've seen Piper throw a ray of frost across this courtyard. For you, from your perspective, it has struck a wall on the far side, and then all of a sudden, he has slid backwards across the courtyard and is stood upright, but is no longer moving. And you saw Stix throw himself to one side, seemingly to avoid something, but you didn't see anything strike the ground, any impacts or anything like that.
Yeah, we can see. Well, me and Piper can see a big weird skull thing. You can't see it, but Piper brought an illusory card and told you shoot above that thing.
Oh, shoot above the card.
Yeah, the card is kind of like a human person, but
Am I still 40 feet back?
I don't know how far would Klari be back from it, approximately.
From it, maybe 20 or so feet
Oh,
from
okay.
Piper's illusory berserker that he cast out.
Then I will throw my dagger to the place in which Piper told me to do things.
Okay. Yeah. You throw your dagger. It just sails through the air, keeps on going, doesn't hit anything. For Stix and Piper and Hugo, you watch this dagger zip through the air, and you watch as this creature just moves to the side of it. As it flies through the air, the creature just dodges out of the way.
Mm.
Which is what the three of you see.
I'm assuming its AC isn't above 27, so I'm assuming there's some shit going on here.
Yeah, you remember. Piper hit it? Or Piper thought Piper, from Piper's perspective, he hit it. From Klari and Arwen's perspective, it wasn't hit. Anything else in your turn? Bonus action?
I don't think we can do anything.
But it can certainly do stuff to us, I think.
I mean, I don't think me and Klari can do anything.
Well, surely you're not just then. Oh, God. No, we can. Me and Stix and Hugo can see. You can't see it. So I guess. Therefore, if you can't see it, you can't hit it. You can't affect it.
Do you have 2 attacks?
No, I only get 1. Unless I do it offhand, but I think I have to melee.
No, you can do it offhand with a thrown weapon.
Can I? Oh,
Yeah.
did you? Yeah, I would.
If
Maybe there's some sort, yeah.
could she? Can you hold a offhand attack?
No, you can't hold a bonus action, which is what an offhand attack is.
Okay. So I was gonna say we could try it, like, if Hugo sends like the image, you see if that worked.
Maybe.
We'll have a go on the next
Yeah.
Mhm.
round.
I'm scared. Yeah, for now I'm just gonna do anything.
Okay. Stix.
Okay. So Stix. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a big skull. It might be undead. So Stix is just gonna run up to it and smack it.
Go for it.
Round the face. Just a
Well, there's nothing else really to hit it around, is there?
ha.
With
Roll to hit Stix. Yeah, that
28. 10 plus 5 plus he's gonna smite. Plus second level smite. Kapow. But do I get the extra D8?
You
Is
do
it?
get the extra D8.
Oh, JJ. That's 48, right?
What's that?
So
38 damage.
38 damage.
Okay, and as you run up with your spear and you stab your spear like straight into the eye of this thing just explodes in iridescent dust that seems to just disappear rather than falling to the ground. Sort of as it falls, it just disappears into the thin air, and you just hear the laughter go. A fine experiment, well worth my time.
Right, like he's like getting to see what we can do. Piece of shit. That's it's dead now, guys.
Oh, is it? What a shot. This
Yes.
thing that was definitely there is dead.
Yep, absolutely. Hyper goes up, high fives the berserker illusion he created because it does act.
That's still going. Ah!
Yeah, it acts and behaves as if it's a real berserker, but it can't move unless I say so. So it's just a Viking-esque man just going ah. Like,
Is he coming with us?
you know what? Yeah, yeah.
I hope he screams the whole time.
Yeah,
How long
yeah,
does
he
he
will.
last?
That's a good question. The illusion lasts until its card is moved or the illusion is dispelled. So, forever, theoretically.
Someone get some super glue. All gust of wind will make them go away.
Spelled, when the illusion ends, the image on the card disappears and that card can't be used again. Yes, I'm gonna waste it. He's coming with us.
Best friend.
I kind of wanna. Oh, if I'd have rolled an ace of diamonds, I could have got a beholder, and that would have been interesting.
Funny.
That would have been.
Use your action to magically move the card within to move magically move it within 30 feet of the card.
Ah, shit! I thought it was like move it.
Yeah, so you can't just be like, come on, come on, come on.
I thought it was like, because I'm moving the card, but if someone physically picked up the card, then it would get rid of it.
Yeah, if you move the card, it dispels it. So.
Okay.
Aw,
In which case,
this is sad.
I will sort of pat the berserker on the head and say, "You did a good job, boy." And I'll kneel down. And I'm assuming, as he's a berserker, he'll just get really mad and try and swing his axe at me. I'm like, so young. And I'll just give him the card, and him and the card both just fade away.
Wait, does the card fade away?
Well, the image on the card fades away. So actually, the image on the card fades away, and it just becomes
Does it just turn into a trading card? Because I think that would be so funny.
No, it's now just a regular like playing card. So it is the Jack of Clubs. It's just the Jack of Clubs.
Put it in.
Oh, could we have said he had a club instead of an axe? Because that's fun.
Yeah. What would you go?
No, it's the Jack of
like to do that?
Axes.
Ace of Clubs is an iron gun because it's the best.
Towards the tower.
Towards the tower, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. You carry on. Arwen and Klari, can you both make Constitution saving throws, please?
No, you want to, and you want to fail them so that you can now see him doing shit.
Klari. As you
I'm mad on my own.
set off, you just hear this laughing voice for the first time. About time someone else was involved.
Inclusivity. Just get the whole gang.
As you are rumbling down this wide street in the direction of these towers through the city, the four of you, except for Arwen, begin to see a change come over the city. The dilapidated buildings spring to life. You can see sort of awnings coming, from shops, banners hung over. There is bits of like bunting or what have you strung between some of the houses, decorating the streets in vibrant colours. This seems to be a thriving metropolis. The shadowy forms you saw moving around before resolve themselves a little bit more, forming blurry yet distinct spherical shapes with sort of wavily, tentacly stalks coming off them as they sort of bob around the streets and things like that.
You know what? I don't think I've ever seen a more bleak, depressing place in my whole life.
As you say
The
that,
world
Hugo
just
shares
wrong.
the image with you, Arwen, and you see a brief glimpse of these streets come to life.
That's not what it looks like, my dude.
You hear the voice that says, "Yes, look upon the city in its heyday, see how nice it was."
Yeah, and then you fucked it up. I'm willing to bet. Or this queen, this emperor fucked it up. In which case, our condolences.
Not as stupid as you look. I see you've learned something from your time here.
Right.
Interesting time.
That's why I asked about a clock at the beginning.
you carry on walking. Eventually, after a little bit of clanging and banging away in your new wagon down the streets, you make it to the first of these central towers. And before
One
you,
of the ones with the
yes, one of the ones
Yeah!
connected by a beam of light. And before you is an incredibly strange sight. This tower stands tall and upright, looking perfect almost. You can see it as you draw closer and closer. There is hurried movement around the base, figures moving to and fro. But this tower, where it stands, looks pristine. You can see the high polish on the bronze rings above, even from a distance, and the bright glow of the orb shedding a sort of purple light in the vicinity around the tower. And as you get close, you spot beholder-like figures, some smaller, some larger, some with more tentacles than others, some slightly different colors, toing and froing rapidly in some sort of panic you pick up on. Yes, Arwen.
Is this actually happening?
Yes,
Can I see it?
All of you can see this.
Okay, cool. How many of these dudes?
You watch numerous people sort of running backwards and forwards across the courtyard. You watch larger figures that you might assume would be parents float over to smaller ones, and groups of them move off. You can see ones that bear almost sort of like little armored caps or something like that, some form of armament, moving around, sort of going over to groups and getting groups to move away. You can hear shouts and screams coming from inside the tower. There is a lot of commotion going on.
Are these little things, those ball things?
These are large spherical creatures with one eye and one central eye and then eyes on little stalks all around. These are beholder-like creatures in a large group, scurrying around. You can see that there's like the double doors to this tower are strewn open. There's commotion going on inside.
Can I ask one of them if they are a spectatrice?
Yeah, you go up to one and you try and speak to it, and it takes no notice of you, as if you're not even there.
I
What
try.
if I kick it?
Can I go up and say hello? Can you hear us? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you go up to it. They take no mind or no mention of you. Oh, and if you try and kick one, and your foot, you connect, and you feel like a hard impact. But this creature doesn't seem to react in any way.
What happens if I jump on them like stones in a lake? Just like jump from one to another.
They're they're floating off the ground. It'd be a little bit difficult to jump on that. I mean, you could try. You could try and
I would like to try.
yeah, okay. Roll an athletics check. So 12.
Well,
Yeah, you climb into the back of the cart and you leap off to get some height. And you land on one and just sort of bounce off. It's quite slimy, you realize, and quite slippery, and you just slip and fall to the floor.
total wipeout style. Nice. Love it. They still don't care that I tried to jump on.
No, it doesn't seem to
On
react.
them.
It barely even seems to move in the air, as if your actions aren't really influencing it.
Okay. These aren't real. Next.
Can we see possibly why they're scurrying about? Why they're so frantic?
Yeah, the doors to the tower are open. From here, you can see there's pulsing going on with the light and the crystal up top. So if you wanted to, you could enter the tower, or continue around in the surrounding area.
Yeah, should we possibly go in and see what the problem is? I mean, maybe this is
Think going.
a glimpse into the past, and therefore we can sort of use this to figure things out in the future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you enter the tower. You can see there is a large ramp that runs around the external wall that goes up to another floor above. There is also a hole, just a straight hole in the floor above as well. You can see all the way up almost to like the top of the tower. There are creatures like floating around. You can see there is almost like a stream of them sort of like coming down and starting to move out of the doors. You overhear sort of snatches of conversation and things like that. That all of you except Arwen can now understand at the moment. And you hear things like, I don't know what went wrong. Whatever reason, it's like, well, did you not see? Wasn't someone put something in the wrong position? What are we going to do? I don't know. They told us all to get out. There's only a few of them that are remaining. We better go because if this goes wrong, it's going to be. So what do you mean if this goes wrong? It's already gone wrong. It's completely fucked. And then all of a sudden, there's a flash of like bright purple light. All of them freeze. And then they all rapidly move in reverse. And all the conversations are had in reverse and so on. Back up the tower, people come back inside. People who had exited the courtyard and disappeared are sucked back in, and the whole thing starts over. You yourselves are moved back. Oh, and you bounce off this thing again, and you find yourselves arriving back at the edge of the courtyard.
And are we aware?
Yeah, you are aware that this happened.
Oh, well, that's weird.
What if we try and sprint for the doors?
Yeah,
Worst thing that can happen is we go all the way back.
Okay. Yeah,
Yes.
You start sprinting for the doors. You make it inside quicker this time. What are you gonna try? Just try sprinting up. What floor do you want to? Do you want to stay on the ground floor?
I think go up to where the lights are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See if we can figure anything out from up there.
Okay. Yeah, there. Can everyone make an athletics check then? Who's like sprinting up there?
Before we run off, I will give Klari guidance. I know she would not. Best at athletics necessarily. Though she's great at acrobatics.
What does that mean?
Because Pipe was actually decent at athletics. Jesus.
What does?
You get 1d4.
Who knows what below?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Sorry?
Oh, left it. Let it go. Oh, no, it wasn't me.
Oh, 1d4. Maybe make it 8.
Ooh.
So, Klari, you get left behind by your companions somewhat as they all sprint in and up. It's quite as as beholders are floating down through holes in the floor, rapidly descending. You also, some of them are coming down this ramp, maybe catching you off guard, Klari, and sort of knocking you over a couple of times so you're struggling to get up. But the rest of you start making rapid progress up this tower. You can see that there are rooms full of what look like control panels and things like that with valves and various things. You move up and there is a room sort of entirely filled with large tanks with big valves on them, There's large quantities of like steam. You can see one of these things seems to have caught fire and filling the room with smoke as you run your way up there. Another room is full of some sort of like these like glowing like these glowing room covered crystals that have sort of like big metal like diodes like pushed into either end and like crackling with electricity. As you sprint through a couple more of these, just like and shatter. Can everyone make a dexterity saving throw, please?
Oh, shit. Everyone gets my bonus.
Oh, that is shit.
Oh.
Yeah. So everyone passed. So like you all managed to like duck and cover as these crystals shatter. There is a small amount of crystal sort of scatters over you. You can feel it. It's like a couple of you where it very lightly sort of catches a piece of sort of like an exposed skin on your hand or something like that. These wounds sort of like burn a little bit more than the like the sort of the laceration from the exploding crystal feels like it should, and if there's some sort of like arcane energy infused in there that's sort of heightening this. But for the most part, you manage to avoid serious harm. You keep going, you pass, more floors. You can see there's one where there is like books and tomes and texts and things, and like chalkboards or what you look like chalkboards and things set up, but as you're sprinting through and you look at them, you realize that they're not chalk; they're sort of smooth panels, and the runes on them are sort of glowing softly as well. Incredibly complex arcane calculations just flash past as you sprint by, making it everyone except for Klari, unfortunately, makes it to the top before the time reverses once more.
Klari had my +5 bonus. She gets a 19.
To her athletics check.
Oh, no, not her athletics check. Never mind.
So you all sprint up, and you can see there is this large room. There are many, many windows look out over the city at the top. A huge amount of panic is going on. More of these machines and contraptions. There's pipe work that's exploding with steam. And just as you all make it to the top, time reverses and you are all dragged outside once more.
Oh, what?
As fast as you were, the few minutes it took you to manually climb multiple floors of this tower, it seemed like it wasn't fast enough to find out what was going on.
How far away is the other tower?
The other tower you can see sort of like a distance away, across, in like a separate courtyard. That one is like bent over on like the point of collapse. As you all reverse a second time, the voice is like, "Years look upon our folly. We trusted wrong. Time was not on our side."
Yes, it doesn't seem like it was.
Maybe we do need that crystal.
Oh, maybe that crystal will stop the. No, because that'll make things quicker around us. That won't.
No, because it will make it slower on the outside.
No, I think it only makes things quicker the closer you are to it. Everything else on the outside.
So we will go quicker.
Oh, now I get you. So yeah, we could potentially walk. a bit quicker so we can get to it quicker.
Mm.
How far would we have to go back to get that crystal, Jojo?
With the cart, you're like sticking to the main thoroughfares. It would probably be like an hour's round trip, like at least half an hour there and half an hour back again. You could cut through side streets. There are side streets and alleys and stuff like that. You would potentially incur the chance of getting lost within the city and lose time or gain time.
Oh, there is one thing I wanted to try. So can we try it again? But Piper can cast Dimension Door. Piper can get us in there like immediately.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's the other thing I was wondering. How many people is that?
So he can bring himself and one other person. But then Stix
Okay.
also has it. So Stix could also do it. But Stix can only do it once per day.
Cool.
I was thinking if Piper does it, brings like Klari, because she's like smart. I might be able to figure with Arcana like how best to do this stuff. So maybe now that we're teleported out, or we'll find out, wait for it to restart again, and as soon as I see everything restart, I will dimension door inside as far as I can see inside, and then
Don't
or
forget with
no,
Dimension
like
Door, you can just think of a destination within
yeah,
range.
yeah. So I'll dimension door sort of pulsing at the back, and we'll see what we can do with it there.
Okay. Yeah. So you wait around and you watch, knowing this reset is coming, and you watch the panic as everyone suddenly, and then they all freeze for a moment, and then they all move backwards, and suddenly it's calm. Yeah. Just as it was at the beginning when you watched it, it was calm for a moment, and then all of a sudden, people started, the holders started rushing out of the building, panic started occurring, guards and things were ushering people out.
Yeah. So
But
yeah. So
you wait for the beginning of this sequence, and you dimension door Piper, yourself, and Klari to the top inside this tower.
yes.
So what you see is there is a large, like bronze ring set up, and there is like a crackling and sparkling ball of energy within. It is of a sort of like similar, like purplish hue to the glowing light outside. And you can see there are control panels. There are like several like long pipes that seem to connect from the floors below, bringing whatever's connected up to the ceiling and then down to this ring where everything is being funneled in. There are control panels around the wall, and off to one side you can see there is one particularly large beholder is looking, it's like has like all its eye stalks are pointing in the direction of an individual, and you can suddenly see there's three of these eye rays go off, and what you see is there seems to be another smaller beholder moving around rapidly, sort of dodging through. And you can see most of these, beholders, even though they're moving quite quickly, they move relatively slowly as they sort of bob through the air, even though you can tell they're trying to. But this one is darting around very rapidly, very erratically, but sort of still sticking across the floor. And then it gets caught. One of these rays catches it, and you see an illusion around it break. And instead of a beholder-like creature, you see a humanoid individual. This individual is wearing a sort of purple robe, and where their face is, you just see a pale, featureless white mask. And you hear the voice of the beholder says, "You've ruined everything. I will not rest. The Empress will fall." And this figure on the ground, you can see what's caught it as it's slowly, one of its arms is being like disintegrated, and it's just slowly falling off as it clutches one shoulder. The Empress is eternal. The efforts of fate. We found you, and you've lost. Before the robe just crumbles in, and there's just like a pile of like worms on the floor where the robe was.
Yeah. This beholder thing was fighting against someone made of worms? It's fucking weird, bro. Okay.
Have it.
Well, there's nothing to stab at the minute. Like the worm guy crumpled. The beholder's there. What's it doing now? That it's defeated.
Like with this, where this creature disappears, it like rapidly turns around, and you can see it starts like pressing buttons, like using its telekinesis to like push stuff on these consoles rapidly, and it starts shouting, "Everyone get out! When this thing goes off, get as many people out of the city. When this thing goes off, there's no telling what kind of problems, what it'll do."
Oh fuck!
So, beholder isn't the same. I don't. These are beholders, not spectatrices.
Yes, I'm guessing there is some distinction somewhere, whatever that distinction is. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe a spectatrice is like a more powerful kind of holder. Maybe it's just a beholder that's attuned to the ethereal plane. Don't know.
Yes,
But
you remember that was part of the instructions. You needed a creature attuned deeply to the ethereal in order to generate the required, like being able to see or like reach into that element, create a weapon to cut through.
right.
And so this is possibly like a terminology thing for me here while I'm saying beholder, because that is what they look like to give you a visual.
Yeah.
A creature, a beholder attuned to the deep ethereal for long enough becomes what is known as a spectatrice for these benefits.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So
Are these things attuned to the ethereal?
I don't know. I'm thinking that this city. So obviously, the spectre trace brings things from other planes. I think this city is the same. I think he brought this city here, and we're just seeing glimpses of this city and what happened. Maybe because of whatever happened to it, like whatever this stuff he's working on here, these crystals. Maybe they're damaged, as you said. There were like fractures in them, and one of them exploded. Maybe we're now sort of seeing this moment of time loop constantly, and there's nothing we can do. I don't think there's anything we can do here.
What happens if you press a button?
Can I go up and quickly press a button before the time lapse back?
Yeah. Yeah, nice. You say, you go off and you like push a button and roll a D100 for me.
D100. I accidentally pressed the button to solve all their problems. Oh, 100, baby!
Yeah. So
Hey, will explode and we can go home. Yay!
yes, I mean 60. You go up and you like push a button, like a thing, like a little flap pops open, an arm comes out, a little cup comes up, and it just goes, and it's like steaming nicely, and there's a nice hot beverage.
Oh!
Well, you changed something.
I did change something, unlike everything else that's happened so far, where I don't change any. Does this beholder react to the.
Yes, because you've rolled 100 on a D100, the beholder sort of like spins around. And it's like, oh, that's the least important thing to be malfunctioning now.
Fuck? I'm making change to the past? Think. Can I press another button?
Yeah.
He can't see Piper though.
As Piper, as the beholder sort of says it, as that's the least important thing to be malfunctioning now. There's like a spark or like a small explosion within the console itself, and the little arm that's like pointing down, like gets like exploded and like shoots off, and like where it comes like up and points out of the machine, it's now just like a fractured stump, and whatever this like boiling hot liquid shoots out and like hits the creature like what would be like on the neck, and you see immediately it like starts to blister with like scalding, like as it's been like scalded by like boiling liquid.
Jesus.
Oh god. Fuck it. Slam another button.
Okay, roll another D100 for me.
The sprinklers, come on.
33.
33. As you slam another button, another section of console just explodes. Can you roll a dexterity saving throw? 13.
13.
You take 5 like slashing damage as little shrapnel bits of console just like scatter over you.
Okay.
At this point, and this is something you want to do really quickly.
No. I think Stix is confused.
Okay, it just goes back, and you're all just teleported through the same path of your dimension doors back to the starting point. And once again, this peaceful scene is arrayed before you. Before you hear the explosions from within the tower, and people start moving in panic. Guards start, getting people to move, and the whole sequence repeats once again.
I would say it sticks.
I-
Pipe that whole thing. My bad.
Yeah.
Cool. Yes, Stix will relay. Piper will relay all the information that he's gathered, and then just say, "Yeah, I think this is just a sort of glimpse of the past type thing. I don't think there's anything we can do for these people, sadly. I think this is just a repeating, recurring, not illusion, but like you climbed on one and it didn't even budge, it didn't even move, nothing happened.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's anything we can do here."
Fair. Would you like to leave? JJ's like, no, this is the whole point of the whole thing. You're going the wrong way.
Yeah, because no matter what we do, it still blows up. And if this, beholder that's super fucking smart could figure out how to stop it blowing up, I don't know anything that can like fix anything or like anything that could. Oh no, that wouldn't work. No.
What wouldn't work?
I was gonna say, could I like tiny hut over the crystal
Explosion?
and sort of contain it, but that would more be you need wall of force for that, not tiny hut. Yeah, you need
A
something
tiny hut gets blown into the air.
a bit better than that. I need like wall of force or some shit. Yeah. Shall we depart here? And head for this glowing bridge tower.
Okay, so you depart following the beam of light through the sky where it connects from this tower to the other one and flickers periodically. Having sort of witnessed what you've witnessed, you can kind of draw the conclusions that the periods where it's solid are the periods where in the flashback everything is fine, until enough things fail and it starts to disrupt the whole thing.
Right.
If you would watch it for several minutes as you're walking along, you could potentially pick up on the repeating pattern of flickers and how they are the same each time.
Mm-hmm.
But in short order, you make it these two towers being the closest two together to the other one. Again, there is this open courtyard. This tower is is bent and crumbled in. You've seen it from many sides now. You can see there is a point sort of in the middle where a section of wall almost like tinks over, and it seems impossible that the top of this tower is still standing. Can everyone make a perception check as you begin to approach?
Perception check.
And who would be driving the cart at this point? Some good rolls tonight. Definitely rolled really well.
Oh. Yeah, 22.
Yeah.
2. I don't know who.
I'll be honest, I'm pretty sure all of the horses are gone now.
Do they only last? We do have Elvis. Is he strong enough to pull it himself?
Yeah, I'll say he is. He's a big elk.
Okay. Then I think Stix would be driving it because he's spending time with Elvis.
Okay.
His boy.
Who went first? Did you roll as Piper first or as Stix?
I rolled as Stix first and then Piper. So Stix got 7. Piper got
Okay.
20.
Okay. So what everyone other than Stix sees, maybe because he's concentrating on driving, there's a few bits of sort of rubble and detritus here and there that he's navigating around. The rest of you spot that it is seemingly impossible, given how one section of one side of this tower is crumbling in and how it is tipping over. It seems impossible that this thing could be standing. Indeed, and you all notice because you all got above a 20, bits of crumbled stone hovering in midair. You even spot a couple of sort of flying bird-like creatures static in the air. And it is not until Elvis runs straight into this and halts Stix, and the cart comes to a standstill. Elvis not moving, not a leaf on his back twitching. Do you notice Stix?
Buddy, can I like lean over on the front of the cart and like tap his like hind? Can I move the leaves or
So
anything?
you lean over and your hand feels a little bit weird as it reaches over and you rub his flank and the leaves on his flank sort of like, brush over. But where you can no longer make contact with them, they no longer move. They just stop.
So they brush over and stay where they were, almost like you're brushing something like clay and it just like stays.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Did I? So my hand felt really weird.
Yeah.
Guys,
Your hand felt sort of like tingly, like pins and needles.
guys, I don't want to go any further because I feel like if we do, we're all just gonna get like frozen in time.
Can I pick up a rock
Yeah.
and throw it?
Yeah. So you pick
Piper,
up a rock
joking.
and you huck it towards the tower, and it goes out a few feet in front of you, and then it's not instantaneous. There is a very slight slowing to its momentum, but it just halts in the air.
Like, imagine if we all walked into that. We're just
Can Elvis?
frozen in
Can
time.
you drag Elvis backwards?
I mean, I can try, but
I mean, can wheel?
yeah, I mean, can we all like push on the other end of the cart and sort of like try and push the cart backwards? And can he?
Okay, yeah. Everyone make a strength check. We'll make this a group activity.
Okay. Push with your legs, not your arms, people.
Ah,
Oh my
I
god.
win.
You guys have been rolling really well tonight. Except for Piper, he falls over.
Except for Piper. Piper grabs it and then does that thing, but as it starts to move, he stays still and just flops.
He's just grabbing onto the cart.
Yeah.
He didn't get the memo.
Yeah. I mean, 2 fails.
Oh
One of them a nat 1, but 2 nat 20s, so it cancels out that one of the nat 1s with a nat 20 on top. So you guys have done, you guys like start to, push on the cart, and it's heavy. This cart is heavy, and it's even heavier now. You've got to try and drag an elk out. But you do manage it. And once you get his like hind legs out, there seems to be almost like an instinctualness to his movement, and his hind legs begin to pull, lightening the load a little bit. And then like sort of, like his front legs come out and they begin to, and then like finally his head comes out and whips around and sort of like shakes himself up. Elvis seems quite distressed by the experience.
I'm not surprised.
So,
Oh,
boy, You just froze in time. Can I try something?
Mm-hmm.
Can I get my let's see about magic. Can Piper get a ray of frost and can he fire it in? Does stuff stop? Does even magic stuff stop? Does his ray of frost?
Yeah, so you cast this ray of frost, and this glittering blue ray shoots out, travels a few feet in front, and then just crystallizes in midair. Frozen. Very much like, the blaster bolt from Star Wars Episode 7. From right at the beginning when Kylo freezes it in the air.
Well, I think we go the other way.
Yep, I don't think we go here anymore.
I think we go back to the tower that we were at before that you got attacked at
Yeah, with
and search there.
where that voice said that he was disappointed that we weren't so inquisitive. Maybe in there slash beneath there is something for us to check out. I mean, we could also just like. Do we think we're here? Do we think we're maybe?
I have no idea.
We could also just pass through the city and keep going.
I don't know where we are.
I feel like we should definitely check out that tower just in case.
Okay, so you head back to the tower you were at previously, which was the second tower you came to. So you've now been to 4 of the 5 towers.
Yes.
So you head back to the second one. It looks, much the same. The dust that covers everything is still there.
Is there anything else to look for in there?
Yeah.
On the exterior of the tower? No. But if you would like, you can enter inside.
Yep. Yes.
Okay. So you enter in. And you find yourselves in fairly well, sort of like adorned room. Stone furniture and things like that around seem relatively unfazed. There seems to be some sort of large, like, desk and things at the ground floor. Similarly, above there is a circular hole in the floor for beholders to float up and down, as well as a curved ramp that runs all the way around for people to float up and down between the levels as well. But you are able to make your way up and down the tower with ease. What you find within are a number of charts and things like that. These charts are divided into a large into many subsections. You can see it looks to be the first one looks to be devoted to many sort of forms of maps and things like that. One you can immediately see is a map of the city with 5 indicators for the towers. But there are other maps. Maps of what look like planets and things like that. Spaced out. You can see there is one that was sectioned out into quadrants and has a section of it is all the quadrants have been covered over in red. Several threats and things you can see from that have been filled in this red section. The rest of it is in a bluish, sort of a light bluish color. There are a number of sort of like stone tablets and crystals and things lying around. That is mainly what you find. Higher up, there seems to be a large sort of library, it seems. There are a number of shelves and things like that, but everything in here seems old and sort a lot of it seems to have been potentially removed or just succumbed to the passage of time. Continuing up, you find a very similar situation at the top of the tower. A large bronze ring. This one is tarnished and over time. Lying, many control panels span the walls again, similar fashion, lying cold and dormant. A fine layer of this iridescent dust covering everything. That is the contents of this tower as you sort of look through them at face value. What to do?
And there are no. This is possibly like a library or something. There's no like spare books lying around or anything like that.
There are some. There are some. Everything here is incredibly old. If you go and sort of pick up some of the books, as you try and open them, like any sort of remnants of leather, like splits and cracks immediately on them. Pages sort of begin to fall out. All these books have very much decayed and are in a very delicate condition. But, if you're looking around, everyone can make an investigation check.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Can I look at the map, like
Yeah.
specifically?
Yeah, you can make an investigation check for the maps.
Oh. I want my boy to help me. Can he help me?
I think Klari can.
Does that give me advantage?
Yeah. He acts kind of like a sounding board in this while you're looking at things. You're like, well, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Like bouncing ideas back and forth. Okay. So was that Stix first, Ben?
Yes, Stix first, then Piper.
Okay. So we'll start with the maps because I was actually specifically looking at them. So Arwen, you look over all the maps and you've, with Hugo's help, find that there is a button on one of these like flat displays. And as you press it, the map seems to shift. The like red seems to sort of like slowly like encroach over the map. And what you can see in amongst the red are little black dots that now you look at them closely seem to be like tiny little vessels of some kind that move with the red, little like star-shaped vessels that move with the red as the red spreads across the map. But you think you found like territory maps of, this thing mentioned some sort of empress, this like empire. This thing mentioned places you've never seen, and it maybe dawns on you that what you thought were cities that this thing, this was talking about, this might have been an entire planet or other plane of existence that was affected.
These maps don't have like places that look anything like anything I know about.
You would potentially flick through one of them. Maybe you find, sort of some of like the city stuff, and you might find some stuff like a larger zoomed out section of what you guess based on other maps looks to be like the Kavran ethereal, the deep ethereal version of Kavran, because they bear similarities.
Yeah.
And there's like there's like a few locations marked, and then there's like a big like tick mark or like a big like mark for where the city is on Eyes Island where you are now, which suggests maybe that was like suggest to you maybe this was like a scouting map or something when they were looking for places to go.
Oh shit! So they wanted to come here. This isn't a place that Spectatrice has stolen. This is, I mean, kind of obvious. He was part of this city, this colony, this whatever. So I guess maybe he brought them here. Which mustn't be right. Surely he would keep something like this, something very personal to him, close to wherever he's laid up.
I mean, there is one more tower we need to look at.
Yeah, maybe we should.
So that's what Arwen finds. Stix, what you find are, sort of like looking through the books. These are incredibly complex. They are far, far beyond your understanding. The only thing you recognize amongst them is there seems to be arcane formula of some kind in a lot of them. Incredibly complex arcane formulas that you haven't a hope of understanding without much, much, much further study. But you find it, a number of these pages from these books.
Okay.
Klari, what you find is you go through some of these sections, and as you're all looking over the various floors and things like that, you find a drawer that contains a large number of smooth circular stones, each one inscribed with a rune. And the runes are a symbol that you're familiar with. There's a spell that you have picked up a scroll for, and have had for some time, but haven't used. Is a magic mouth scroll. And so based on the runes that are etched on these, that these are, magic mouth. These have been etched with a magic mouth to repeat a message. Ordinarily, magic mouth often triggers when, someone just like sort of touches a thing. That certain triggers can be placed on something. To potentially make it activate under certain conditions. You can see that there is, when you open, the first drawer of these, and you can see that there are a number of them in. You open the second drawer, and you see that there's another one. You seem to have stumbled across some sort of records keeping of something, potentially. You just need to figure out how to activate them.
Could you like just pick it up and shake it?
Make a snow globe.
Yeah. Or could you?
Shaking it might erase it like an etch a sketch.
Maybe. Could you like tap it against something? Like pick it up and ding, ding, and like that?
My head.
Could you put a spell into it? Is it like an attune thing? You like attune to it. So then, no, but like, oh, I don't know. Do you like cast magic mouth into it?
anything.
It could be anything.
What problem is very much the same, so it depends on one place. A step in that shoe.
Well, that's basic stuff though. You know, shaking it, tapping it. Yeah.
I try shaking it and tapping.
Yeah, you try shaking it and tapping it. It makes a sort of a little clang sound on the side of the console, but it doesn't seem to do anything. The trigger doesn't seem to be touched, from what you can tell.
Is it because they use like telekinesis? What if you use your hand to pick it up? Because that's like telekinesis. Your hand's invisible. This is telekinesis. It basically is. It's a spectral floating hand. That look, we don't even know it's a hand because it's invisible. To us, it's just you invisibly doing shit with the force.
Ouch. And you're doing shit. Not so much.
No. That's what we said. Maybe it's similar.
This is gonna be reveal this thing when someone does something
Similar. I'm sorry, I had an idea. Fucking hell. You are allowed to. What if? Okay, can Stix come over, pick one up, throw it on the ground?
Yeah, it just sort of like clacks across the ground and like skids across.
What if it's
Breaking it.
it's something like, what was the name of their old like city or whatever? What if it's like Sunrix or Uolanu City, or
Or
I just say
Jubilee
all of the words.
Empress, Magic Mouth.
Yeah, you start repeating these words.
It's like,
When whoever repeats the word or the name Sonrix, the one that person is holding, if they are holding one, activates.
ah.
Yeah.
Doesn't say anything.
And so, you pick one up and it just repeats the message. Something along the lines of Dave, 2641. Progress, significant progress made, more crystals required. Realized error was insufficient power, harvesting more crystals to improve power output. And you pick up another one, and it's like, 1536. Power has, issues with stabilization. Even a small amount of power seems wildly unstable when magic is applied in this way. And going through a bunch of them, you get like a record. A lot of it is like confusing jargon that you don't understand, words that you're not sure whether they're like terminology or names or something like that. But essentially, there was a series of experiments taking place around time magic, and the objective of which was to be able to travel through time.
Does Arwen wouldn't know, but does the voice on the recordings sound like the voice that everyone keeps hearing?
No.
Okay, so I'm guessing it's not Sunric who is like
Who is the
the
spectrum?
one talking to you.
Yeah.
So that makes me feel a lot better.
That does make me feel a little bit better. Maybe it's not Sunrix, maybe it's someone who disagreed. Well, yeah, whoever it was said that he was falling. So I guess someone disagreed with what he was doing, and therefore, yeah, I guess someone disagreed with what he was doing, and therefore, I don't know, maybe fucking killed him, or maybe he's the only one left, and he's just bitter about the fact that it didn't work. Maybe it is Sunrix, and he, yeah, is just bitter about the fact that none of it worked. Who knows? I guess
Who
head
knows?
off to the last tower then, I guess.
Yeah.
That's pretty much everything in there.
Okay. So you cross the city once more, and the day has certainly worn on by this point. The time spent toing and froing back and forth. It's starting to get towards the hours of dark. And as you cross through the city again, the voice. Oh, actually, before that, Arwen, can you make another Constitution saving throw, please?
No.
You're in trouble. Fail. Join us in madness.
And at last, the voice speaks to you, Arwen.
Oh.
Uh,
My crit last time count for nothing.
Does she still get my +5?
She does, yes.
Do I still hear it?
You do, yes.
Oh fuck.
Worst date ever.
Yes, this was a rising DC the longer you spent within the city, but now all of you are
I see.
influenced by
I'm
this.
worried.
And you all hear, yeah. So you found my research.
I
I
think it's
dare you
false.
to replicate our folly. And you'll join me in time.
Okay. That's this guy's weird.
This guy's definitely weird. This guy's got major issues. Alright, I guess we'll continue on to the tower and be very, very well. You don't really want to replicate his stuff. Messing with time seems like a big bad thing. to
Big
do.
no. That's a big nope from me.
Yeah, it's a big old
So,
nova for me.
You cross the city once more, passing through courtyards and things like that, seeing more statues of, or more fountains with statues devoted to Sunrix, more little markets with their stalls and things like that, more abandoned carts and carriages and so forth. Eventually making it to the final tower you have to get to visit. This tower stands once again partially destroyed. You can see a section of the tower has fallen off, crumbling down, and there is a section of nearby houses that have been crushed where this thing collapsed and fell in. But you enter this tower. And this one, unlike the others, has a large set of metal doors that hold it closed.
Can we open it? Or are they locked?
You don't see any handles or anything on them like that. Any keyholes or anything. They just seem to be two doors that are pressed against each other.
I'll attempt to go up and push one of them open.
You push, and it seems to hold fast.
Oh god, it's a hole, isn't it?
Is it? Pull it.
Can I pull it? Can I grab anything and pull?
There is a very slight seam. You can attempt to try and get something in to try and pull on the doors.
Yeah, I feel like if there's not a handle, it's probably not a pull.
What if we
So
bust it open with magic?
We could try and burst it open with magic, or we could just dimension door to the other side. Boop, boop.
I mean, you only have one. How many dimension doors do you have?
Stix only has one. Piper can cast it a bunch of times
Oh, okay.
because he's actually got dimension door as a spell. Because it is a dope ass spell. Piper can cast it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more times today. Theoretically. So yeah, I guess we could. Let me ponder the tomes. Oh, I've got my eyes. It's detect magic, hold birth, move with who's got wearing misty step. Mercy and word of the bird comes for all kind of polymorph. Could I could polymorph myself into something bigger to then push it? Could you wild shape yourself into like a big ass thing to push? Giant.
Have good strength.
I'm thinking if I was to polymorph myself into like a, giant ape and push it, that would be a lot better in terms of spell economy than teleporting everyone one after one.
Oh, hold on. I will be a brown bear, please.
Okay, you wild shape into a brown bear.
I'm pretty sure Stix is stronger, if not as strong as a brown bear. But 2 brown.
What's your strength?
+4.
Yeah.
But maybe
Well, Arwen is +2, so.
Yeah, maybe 2 of us pushing on one door might be able to. Can we give a good push now?
Yeah. Strength checks.
Hold on.
I'm giving the bear guidance.
Nice. I am rolling, I promise. I'm just putting the thing back. What does guidance do?
Plus 1d4. We're back to 14.
16.
Okay. I mean, you guys are pushing on this door, and it doesn't seem to be going anywhere. Doesn't seem to want to open in or out.
I'm gonna have
What
to.
if we shake it all about?
Klari, you and Owen, you would both notice with your passive perception, you don't spot any hinges or anything like that on the edges of the door.
It's a slidey door.
If I just push it to the side, does it open?
Make another strength check. As a bear.
I will help. You get advantage.
Will I get advantage?
Oh, we get
Yes.
Oh, thank. Right.
Arwen, you managed to get your like bare claws in the gap, but they end up sort of like screeching on the metal and like slipping. You can't quite get them like into the gap enough.
Shit.
I'm now an angry bear because I don't like the sound. It makes me feel weird. I go into a bear rage.
Into a bear. Okay.
But did that seem to like be a plausible thing? Like, did that seem to even
I think
work at all?
Arwen rolled a 3. You're not much you can tell on that. Like she tried to get her claws in the gap, and there was just like a screeching noise. Stix, you still have your hands in use of tools, so if you wanted to
I was
try
going to say, so Stix, can he grab his spear, which is magical and strong and made from metal that comes from space, jam his spear into the thing and try and open it a little bit so that he can try and get a handhold?
Yes. Make a strength check with advantage due to your leverage.
Yay! Go leverage. 19.
Yeah, so you wedge the spear in and you lean back on it, and the doors, like, there's a little, like, squeaking noise of, like, metal on stone, and, like a little, like, sort of, like, 1-inch gap appears as you're, like, pulling on the spear with the blade of it wedged in, giving an opening for someone to reach in and, like, properly get a grip.
Fantastic. Then Piper walks up, turns into a giant ape, and just fucking God of War whoosh, pulls it to the side.
Just slams the doors open. It's like Piper just pulls on like one door, and it seems like they're like counterlevered together, and the both doors just slam open. And with the force and the sort of like dust that comes out from like the side, you're pretty sure they might not close again, but they're open.
Piper just looks down.
What strength does a giant ape have?
I'm pretty sure it's +8. I might be wrong in that, because that does seem very, very strong. But it's a huge thing.
Giant ape is, I think it's like 24 or something, might be 26. But either way,
Giant ape.
strong enough that you know, it can easily open a sliding door once it's got purchased.
I think 23.
23. So yeah, plus
Surprise attack. Arwen comes up and just shoves him, but it's surprise. So
Arwen's trying to push the ape over.
yeah,
Okay, contested strength checks.
she walks past.
Trying to like just shoulder.
But it's
I am.
yeah.
I am like 20 feet tall.
Still, Arwen's large though as a bear, so still technically doable.
Oh.
What are the totals?
I have a +6. That's 9.
9.
So it's just kind of a stalemate. Arwen just kind of like comes up and just like bonks against it.
Does he kind of like work just a little bit?
Yeah, there's like a little like.
Yeah.
It doesn't really.
That's all I care.
But we're gonna.
As long as he's slightly.
I'm also a giant to intelligence.
You guys enter into this tower, and this tower immediately catches you off as being very different to the other ones. The other ones were clean, they were well lit, they had a strong sort of like sense of like magical purpose upon looking around them. This one is darker, and the light that you guys have now let in illuminates numerous tanks, large glass tanks that line the walls. In the center, there is a large metal table, kind of like how you'd see in an autopsy room in like a crime drama or something like that. And the smell in here is unpleasant, whereas everyone else hasn't really smelled as much. It's been pretty clean. And as you all enter, you just hear this voice. Welcome to my... Oh, how I enjoy capturing the Empress's spy and experimenting on them. This was my purview. My children were created here. Such a shame I ran out of time before any of them were perfected.
I hate this. Ew.
And yeah, in the
Yeah.
tanks, you can see one of them has this like sort of similar to what you saw before, this like mass of worms, the robes and the mask stripped away that is holding this like humanoid form. You can see one of them is a sort of like ever-grinning, sort of like madly sort of like staring figure with like spindly arms and legs, spines bristling from patches of pallid skin, long fingers with broken nails at the end.
No, thank you.
And another one that holds like a large ogre-like creature. Its skin, even in the tank, sort of glistening translucently.
No.
Whereas traditional ogres are sort of large, sort of overly fat creatures, this thing is large but skinny. See a mouth on this creature with far too many teeth, all sharp and pointed. And all of these tanks are just filled generally with these horrific sort of abominations.
No.
So some of them have more arms, 4 or 6 or 8. And arrayed all around are a numerous amount of now rusty tools that you imagine would be perfectly at home as surgical implements.
No.
Some kind of horrifying fucked up surgery on monsters. Yeesh. Is there anywhere else like further into this tower, or is it just this room? It's like this tower.
There are more layers that go up that you can see. Again, seeing a hole in the roof. Like again, the top of this one has collapsed, and so it doesn't have the same height. But you can see that the second room above is similarly arrayed. Whether or not this whole tower was devoted to this, you suspect from some of the stuff that you potentially listened to on the Magic Mouth, stuff that all 5 towers were used for channeling this potential time magic that they were trying to work with, which is probably what's caused time distortions in various ways around some of the towers. But it was probably only the top section of this one that was that, whereas this bottom one is devoted to the dissection of these creatures.
No, thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. Unless there's anything more actually interesting around here, which kind of Piper's getting some like almost like PTSD from surgical shit and seeing things sort of torn open. So Piper's like, I'll wait by the entrance and he goes out and is probably quite sick. And then I think Stix has got a stomach. He'll have a look around, see if there's anything potentially more thing or investigative here.
Anyone having a look around? Roll an investigation check.
Where's it going? 20.
Okay, 20. Stix,
Good.
what you find on the ground floor is one of these control panels that looks like it should be sort of like to control these tanks. And what you spot is that there is a sort of like a weird arrangement of the buttons. It seems to be like a button for each tank, and then there is an extra one, sort of off placed. All the other ones are neatly arranged, and then this one is sort of like off place, tucked to the side, and you can see that there is a rune etched next to it. And you guess that maybe this rune was supposed to hide this button in some way, but as the magic on it has failed. So this button was supposed to be some sort of secret switch.
I switch it. I press it. I do
Okay.
indeed.
You press it. The table in the center on the floor begins to sink. With a grinding of stone, it begins to lower down, again forming a hole similar to the floors above, where these circular holes allow people to float between floors are, and a hole appears in the floor, and all you hear is welcome. And I think we'll end it there.
Fight or flight.